Namaste. Good morning. I hope everyone is having a good evening and start to your morning, a good start. It's Sunday, so I've decided that today's practice will be a practice of rest, of trying and hoping to truly rest ourselves. The sympathetic nervous system, our anxiety, our fear, all of that resides in this part of our body, that panting. And we want to engage our parasympathetic nervous system, that abdominal breath, relaxing the body and the mind. So this morning we're going to start with a little pranayama to just put us into that state. And then we're going to lie in Shavasana. And then we're going to come out of that and do a few gentle, hopefully heart-opening, calming, grounding postures. And then we're going to go back into the breath for a little while. And then a short meditation. So making sure your seat is nice and comfortable. If you need blocks or books or pillows underneath your knees to support them, please do that. Don't let them just hang in space. Grab something and put it there. And just placing your palms up in receiving mode. Without changing it, finding the breath in the body. Is it in your belly or your chest? Is it in the front and the back and the sides? Where do you feel your breath? Bringing our hands into the heart, Anjali. With gratitude, we salute all the great masters, yoga, Ayurveda, the sciences, appreciating them. We recognize the excellent wisdom teachings in yoga and Ayurveda. Thinking of something for which you are grateful this morning. And letting that thought wash over you gently. And then I'll chant one Om. Feel free to join with me at home. Exhaling the breath all the way out, drawing the belly into the spine, and inhaling to chant. And then letting your hands fall gently down to your knees. Again, keeping them in receiving for just a moment more. I can hear a dog in the background, and I hope we're not competing for the speaker, but we may be. Let the dog sound just sink you into a deeper state of peacefulness, quietness, internal, not external. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open, taking your hands and just putting them on your belly, right around your belly button. And notice if you're breathing into your hands. Does your breath touch your hands? Is there some way that your breath is interacting at this moment with your hands? And then we're going to intentionally use the breath. We're going to exhale and use the muscles, belly to spine, hands pull in. Release the hands, release the muscles, and let the breath rush in. Exhale, belly to spine. Use your muscles to pull the belly in. Relax the muscle, let the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Inhale. Contract. Exhale. Release. Inhale. Contract. Exhale. Release. Inhale. And then falling back into your natural breathing pattern. And taking your hands this time and putting them around your low ribs, right around your low ribs. So this time as we exhale, the ribs get closer. We feel a little triangle being performed with our front ribs. And then we inhale, spread your hands. Exhale. Ribs come together. Don't let the breath get too high in the chest. Keep it low in the chest, but in the ribs, spreading the ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Lungs are recoiling, muscles are helping. Inhale. And exhale. One more on your own. Rest for a catch breath or two. And then again, placing your hands to your ribs, but this time letting your fingers touch down to your belly. Keep your thumbs on your ribs, fingers on your belly, somewhere just kind of touching below the ribs. And as we exhale, draw the belly to the spine. As you inhale, release the belly, and then begin to draw it into the ribs. Belly will come in all by itself. Draw it into the ribs, spread the ribs side to side, feel the ribs spread and expand. One slow, smooth, soft exhale. Muscles are compressing, contracting, lungs are recoiling, coming back into their 30% left shape, and then inhale. 3 of these yogic breaths. Exhale, nice and slow and smooth, the muscles contract, belly is coming in, everything is coming in. Soften your belly. And then move the breath into the ribs, side ribs, back ribs especially. Feel it go into the very back of your body. And then one slow, smooth, gentle exhale. Just resting for a moment, letting your palms face your legs. Taking a few of your natural breaths, belly or chest. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. And we're going to do that lying down. We're going to do that same breath pattern, yogic breath, lying down. So you may want to stay up and look for just one breath, if you can see at all what my belly looks like. So when I'm lying down and talking, I'm exhaling. So my belly is moving into my spine. My ribs are going to come in when I'm at the bottom of the exhale. I'm going to start the breath in my belly and then move it into my chest. Beginning now. And exhaling. So let your belly expand first with the inhale. And then draw that same inhale side to side, front to back into the ribs. So lying down if you're not already there. Exhaling the breath all the way out
Feel the belly come toward the floor, but keep your low back curve. And then inhale, belly. Draw it into the chest. Belly will recede all on its own. Draw it into the chest, side to side, front to back, not high, never above your scapula in this practice for now. And slowly let go. And I meant collarbone. Again, inhale, belly, chest, draw it front to front, back to side, all around like a circle. Fill the barrel of your chest with breath. And then one slow, smooth, gentle exhalation. One more yogic breath. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale. Relaxing your arms and hands below your heart. Think of yourself for a moment as a starfish rather than a corpse. Expand your body. Expand your breath. Resting in Shavasana. Letting the breath be soft and shallow, just enough to sustain you. And on your next inhale breath, letting your eyes flutter open, bending your knees, placing your feet firmly on the floor. Lift your hips off the floor, shift them away from me, place them down, and then drop your knees over toward me. Curling up in embryo pose. Resting your upper arm, use that hand of your upper arm below your head, make a little pillow. And think about embryo, coming out of corpse, moving into embryo. And then slowly tuck your chin into your chest, begin to press the floor away with your upper arm, but come up slowly, really slowly. Keep your chin down to your chest until you're all the way up. Again, finding your comfortable seat. Head is the last thing to stack on top of the spine. Finding your breath again in the belly or in the chest. Letting it deepen just a little. Bringing the three energies of body, breath, and mind together. Trikuti. On our next inhale, bringing our hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. And like a waterfall for a moment. Inhale, drawing your arms up. Exhale, arms reaching. Bring them back into the center. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, lower. Inhale,
waterfall up, exhale, lower. Whatever leg we had in front or on top, let's switch. And again, 3 more breaths. Inhale, arms reaching up. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, arms reaching up. Exhale, slowly lower. Slow the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And just resting again, palms on your legs. Notice your breath. Notice your mind. And this time, taking our hands out to the side, press into the mat. If the mat's not there and you have some blocks or some books, you can press into blocks or books, whichever is best for where you can actually make contact. So making contact with the floor, a book, a pillow, something. Press into that object. Lift your spine. Pull the belly in. Engage your body fully. And we're going to inhale out to the left, out to the right, sorry. Exhale, back. Inhale, over to the left, and exhale, back. Inhale, right, exhale, center, inhale, left, exhale, center, one more set, inhale, right, exhale, center, inhale, left, and exhale, center. Press again into the floor or into the mat, into the block. Good. And then lean back for a moment on your sit bones. Get them out of that space. Bring them together for a moment in front of the body and just squeeze the knees. Relax your groin for a moment. Relax the adductors, insides of the legs. And then letting the knees open into Vajrasana. You may want to block here. Something to support your legs, sitting up on your sit bones. Imagine for a moment you were a lizard and your tail is beautifully draped back behind you. So just imagining your tailbone going toward the back. So if you can lean over a little, tailbone back behind, and then lift up, draw the ribs in, stack the torso on top of the pelvic basket. Get really tall. Good. Soles of the feet making contact, touching. And again, hands to the floor or the block if you have it beside you. We're going to, again, inhale, twist to the right, exhale, lower. It limits our movement. Inhale, twist to the left, exhale, lower. Inhale, right, exhale, lower. Inhale, left, exhale, lower. Inhale, right, last set, exhale, lower. And inhale, left, exhale, lower. Good. Rest into your legs for a moment, sitting up nice and tall. And then taking both legs into Upavista, wide-legged angle, Upavista Konasana. Good. Legs are extended. Press into your hands, lift up off your sit bones, and sit yourself back down on your sit bones. And for a moment, just lean back into your hands. Press through your feet. Heels are on the floor, firmly on the floor. Roll the toes back towards you. Press through the ball of the foot and the heel evenly. Legs are engaged, especially the quads. So notice pushing through the heels, but heels are on the floor. Good, nice and tall. And then we're gonna hold on and grab our left leg. We're gonna put the left heel in toward the groin. You may wanna block underneath your left knee to stable out your pelvic basket. And I'm still facing front and center. I'm gonna inhale my arms out to the side. Lift up out of my pelvic basket as I exhale. Inhale, turn out toward my leg, and exhale, undulate. Coming back. Exhale, undulate. Inhale back. Exhale, undulate. Inhale back. And this time we're going to stay. Exhale. Take your inhale, making contact with your leg. It can be your quad, your shin, your toes, wherever you're making contact. Just be there for a moment. Make sure your left hip did not come up. Press your left leg toward the floor. Left sit bone toward the floor. Breathe. And then for just a moment, begin to tuck your chin in towards your chest, rounding. Breathing. On your next inhale, take your gaze out past your foot. Begin to reach your arms out and inhale up and exhale. Release. Find yourself in this neutral middle space. Breathe. And then we're going to switch legs. So first opening up your left leg and then drawing your right heel into the groin. You may need a block on one that you didn't need on the other. Just find out, respect that leg. So my left leg is very engaged, reaching through the heel. So we're going to inhale, coming up, overhead. And as you exhale and draw the belly in, lift up out of the pelvic basket. And on your next inhale, twist, go over toward the leg. And exhale, undulate. Inhale back. Exhale, undulate. Inhale back. Exhale, undulate. Inhale back. Now we'll stay. Exhale, putting your hands on your shin, on your thigh, wherever you happen to be. It's perfect. Be where you are and breathe. And then holding onto your leg wherever you are. Begin to curl the chin into the chest. Let the upper spine, your neck, let your neck round. And on your next inhale, looking out past your toes. Good. Reach out, reach, reach. And then inhale. Exhale. Releasing. And just being on that side. Breathing. Good. And then bending that knee and putting soles of the feet together one more time. Check and see now if your Vajrasana is any different. You can still put a block underneath. Because we're going to sit in this pose for a moment to do something with our shoulders. So just finding a place that's stable. You may need to move your feet away from your pelvic basket, sit yourself up, balance on your sit bones. You have some blocks or some books, some pillows, double them and put them in. So that we can keep this stable diamond-shaped base we have created. Good, so taking both arms up overhead, Bending the left elbow. Reach over for your left elbow. And then take the arm back and forth a little. Go over your head. Do not compress your neck. Just a little bit back and forth. And then when you get to back, as far back as feels comfortable for you, just stay there for a moment. Make sure you have not trapped your neck. Good. And then opening the arms, nice and broad. Let them rest. Hold on to your shins. Reestablish tall spine out of this edge of this diamond you've created with your legs and hips. Good. Arms coming up again. Reaching the arms up. And this time bending your right elbow. Reaching over, holding the elbow, bring it back and forth a few times. And then take it as far back as feels comfortable. You can walk your right arm down your scapula. Just make sure you have not trapped your neck. Good. Breathing. Keep that belly engaged. You need the belly engaged. The breath is in the chest into those low ribs, not high. And then slowly release. Good. And again, hold on to the shins. Find yourself nice and stable. And then you're going to take your left heel into your groin and your right leg back behind you into Vrishasana, bull pose. So if you come up off of a sit bone here, if you find that you're leaning into one side and you have a block or a blanket or anything to put under your left sit bone, put it under there to even out and let your right sit bone hang in space. Nice and tall. External rotation on the left leg and internal rotation on the right. Exhale and ground down through the pelvic basket. And as you inhale into twist, go ahead and take your chin all the way out over your left shoulder. And then arc your chin up over your right shoulder. Take your gaze as far out to the left as you can. And release. Triputi, body, breath, mind. Check in with yourself. And then if you're on a block, come off of it, whatever you're on. We're going to swish our legs over to the other side. And here, if the sit bones are not evenly on the floor, again, a block. This time it will be underneath your right sit bone, leaving your left sit bone hanging in space. Good. Exhale and root down. Pubic bone, tailbone, rooting down evenly. Sit bones, a triangle there. And then inhale and over. I'm at the diamond. You saw that in your mind. Good. Go ahead and take your chin all the way out over your right shoulder. And then on your next inhale, arc your chin over your left shoulder. Taking your gaze back to the right as far as you can. And releasing. Good. Little movement to the other side. And then come off your block. One last time, soles of the feet together, sitting up nice and tall, and see again if there's a difference here. Triputi, body, breath, mind. We're going to swing our legs around and we're going to sit on our heels. But if that's not comfortable, we're going to put a block between our heels and sit on the block, or a book, or a pillow, anything. Knees are right out in front. Thunderbolt, Vajra, Vajrasana. And then here, let the arms rise up into goddess. Palms facing the front. Slowly, as if you were moving through water. Resist as you bring palms and elbows together. Open as if you were really pushing someone else's arm, pushing you back. Both directions, coming back. And open. And coming back. And open. Good. And then just releasing. One last little adjustment to our legs for a little bit of internal rotation. If you're sitting on a block or a pillow, it'll be easy for you. Just taking your feet out a little bit, creating internal rotation into the thigh bone. If you're on the floor, you may need to get up off your heels completely. Take your legs out to the side and have a seat. It depends on how flexible you are with your knees. So no need to suffer through this. You can even be on 2 blocks. The goal here is that little bit of internal rotation to the thighs. Breathing. Good. And then come off the blocks. Put them to the side. And bring your legs back into the front. Good. Squeeze the knees together. Relaxing the groin. Good. And then our last seated pose for a moment is going to be Gomukhasana, cow face pose. You might want to do it on a block to start, putting the edge of the block here underneath your pubic bone. So the V is underneath your pubic bone. So you're sitting evenly on the block. Good. And you can tuck in your left heel close to the block, and your right leg can go on top. And this may be the pose for those of us who are on a block. This may be at maximum. You may lower the knee or keeping it up. Either way is absolutely fine. If you're on the floor, also there, you may lower the knee and you may keep it up. Staying tall wherever you are. And one leg may be very different from the other. Reaching our arms out to the side. So the leg that you have on the bottom, I think it should be your left leg. For that, you're going to take your left arm out to the side and dive the thumb down. Internal rotation, and reach back and see if you can have any relationship with your back right scapula. This arm, opposite, we're opening the palm up all the way into external rotation, and then adducting, bending the elbow, and seeing if we have anything back there to hold on to. Maybe our blouse or a strap or our t-shirt, anything. Breathing. Belly is engaged. And then on our next inhale, we're going to release both arms up overhead. And then let them gently float down. Good. So wherever you are, you can lean back unless you're on the block, and then you're going to have to situate yourself a little more easily. Just finding the other side. Sitting nice and tall, cow face pose. If you were looking above us, you'd see the ears of the cow being made with your feet. Find that comfortable place, put something under you, anything you need to balance yourself out, side to side, front to back. Good. And then your right arm is going to go into internal rotation where your leg is lower. So roll it way down and take it up. See if you can find anything to do with your left scapula. And then your left arm opens completely. And then up, bend the elbow, and see if there's any relationship for you to hold on to. Shirt, strap, anything. Breathe. And then on our next inhale, we'll release our arms overhead. And exhale, arms floating down. Lean back, reach back, unhook the legs, and squeeze the knees together. Open yourself broad in the heart, squeezing the knees together. Good. And then slowly, we're going to do a little bit of a seated cat pose before we head to the floor. Okay? So holding on. I'm going to hold my shins with my hands and inhale, look forward and up a little. And exhale, lean back and straighten my arms. Inhale, coming up. Sitting on the tops of my sit bones, and exhale, rolling down toward my sacrum. And inhale, up, and exhale. 2 more. Good. And then come back into a neutral space. We're going to slowly move to the floor. We're going to do 1 reclined twist. Jatara Parivartanasana. Stomach churning pose. Okay? So as we do this, we're going to lie down, although maybe just look first, 1 quick glance. When I'm here in bridge, I lift as if I'm in bridge. I'm not in bridge really, but try not to look at the screen yourself. This is not good for your carotid. I'm being very conscious here and really pulling my shoulder down and making sure there's no compression. I'm shifting my hips over to the right, lowering them, drawing my knees in, taking them to the left, and putting my hand on my sacrum to make sure that I did not take the twist there. That my belly button and my sacrum are headed toward you, and my sternum is headed up. Okay? Good. I'll guide you through it.
So lying down. Bend your knees, put your feet firmly on the floor. Lift your hips off the floor, shift them over to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 inches, set them down. Draw your knees in slightly, and then take your knees over to the right. The whole leg and hip rolls with you. Take your left hand back, touch your sacrum, make sure it's all nice and aligned. And then notice that your sternum is headed a little bit more toward the ceiling. Since this is the end of practice, letting your head go to the knee side, but lift your head, take it off, make it long in the neck, all the way over to the knee side. And then slowly bring your knees, start to come up, put your toes down on the floor, straighten yourself out completely, shake out your bottom, and then take it to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 inches, set it down, draw the knees in a little, don't grab them in, and then over to the side, pull your shins away as if you were seated in a chair. Shins, you're in a right angle, femur to your shin. So thigh bone to shin, right angle. Lift your head, lengthen your neck, and then rest on your ear, looking to the knee side. And then slowly begin to bend your upper knee in, put the toe on the floor, other toe on the floor, lift up, shift, shake your hips out. And finding our Shavasana again. This little taste of death, reminding us of our true immortality. Finding a comfortable place to surrender. Letting go of your jaw, Hanuman, broken jaw, broken ego. Just letting go of the ego for a moment. Check in with your breath, soft and shallow, just enough to sustain you. Letting your next exhale relax you even more. Gently bringing your awareness back into the breath. Notice the rise and the fall of your belly or your chest. Beginning to bring the senses online, rolling the eyes and the sockets in one direction, and then the other. Letting the tongue roam the mouth, the back of the teeth, the roof of the mouth, swishing it along the front of the teeth. And then opening the mouth wide as if you were yawning. Ears, snap, crackle, pop. Wriggle your nose. And then begin to bring some movement into the fingers, toes, sense of touch. And then consider a nice big overhead stretch. And then slowly begin to bend your knees, placing your feet on the floor firmly. Draw your arms, put your hands onto your belly. And just rock a little bit, side to side, just a little. And then come back to the center, lift your hips off the floor, shift them away from me for a few inches, set them down. Drop your knees over toward me, curling up one more time into embryo pose, all safe and secure. And then gently, using your upper arm to press that hand into the floor. Begin to spiral up slowly. Head is the last thing to come up. Finding your comfortable seat. And then letting the head balance on the top of the spine. Resting. Breathing. Whichever leg you have in front, switch it for a moment. You may want a pillow underneath your hips. We're going to revisit those 3 breaths that we learned at the beginning of the practice. Our abdominal breath, our chest breath, and then the yogic breath, the 2 combined together. So we'll take just a few rounds of each of those. Your eyes can gently close for a soft gaze. As you exhale all the breath all the way out, our first one will be abdominal breath. Inhale, belly. Exhale, belly. Use the belly muscles. Inhale, belly, soften. Exhale, belly, contract. Inhale. Exhale. Don't let it rise up into the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Belly to spine.
belly to spine, firmly pulled in. And then fall back into your natural breathing pattern for a few seconds. Our next breath will be the chest breath, but we're going to keep it low in this part of our chest where our ribs are below our clavicles. So keeping that breath low. This is the breath we use in asana practice when we have our belly very engaged and we need to spread the ribs and flatten the diaphragm out in that direction. So our ribs will expand and bucket handle breathing. Okay? So exhale, belly to spine. Keep it there. Inhale, chest. Exhale, chest releases. Inhale, chest. Exhale, belly stays engaged through the whole practice, both the inhale and the exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Think front to back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the belly engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A barrel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Resting, breathing, natural breath. And then we'll combine those two actions into our yogic breath. Think about taking 1/3 in the belly and 2/3 in the whole of the chest, all the way around. So as the belly releases, the breath starts there, but it pulls quickly into the chest area. And then a smooth, soft exhalation. So if we're going to count to 9, let's do that. So we'll use 9 for our exhale. We'll inhale 3, continue 6, and 9 for the exhale. We'll just do 2 of those just for you to try. And please try this on your own, maybe after today's class before you have breakfast. Okay? So exhale. Inhale, chest. Exhale. Belly, chest. Exhale. On your own. And then fall back into your natural breathing pattern. As we move into our meditation today, we'll again meditate on the 5 elements, using the 5 hand mudras for those elements. So realizing that we are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Everything that's in the universe is in us. We and the universe are made of these 5 elements. Balancing the elements will help us to balance body, breath, mind. Today we'll begin with the earth, touching the thumb to the tip of the ring finger and just resting the back of the hand gently on your legs. Earth element. Prithvi. Your bones, your cartilage, your muscles, the organs, solidity, structure, building blocks, our house, our furniture, the buildings, the trees, structure. It's seed syllable, lung, lung, lung. Water, up. Tip of the pinky finger to the tip of the thumb. Liquidity. We are 80%, 70, 80% water. Blood, lymph, saliva, all of the water in the body and outside of the body. Trees, dripping, rain falling, oceans, lakes, rivers. Bung, bung, bung. Liquidity. Fire element, touching the thumb to the first joint of the ring finger. Fire, Agni, metabolic, catabolic, anabolic energy in the body. The mitochondria at the cellular level. Energy, sun, the core of the earth. Fire, seed syllable, rum, rum, rum. Air element, touching the index finger to the base of the thumb and wrapping the thumb around the second knuckle, the second part of the index. Air, movement, our blood moving through the veins, our digestion moving through the GI tract, movement, all of the movement in the body. Air element, Vayu, air in the trees, air in the water, movement inside and out. Ether, the middle finger to the tip of the thumb, middle finger to the tip of the thumb. Ether, space, Akash, the space inside our bodies, in our ears and our nose, and all of the orifices of the body, the space within the organs, the space in the veins, the space in the cells, outside of us, the space in the room where you are, the space all around us, inner space, outer space. hum, hum, hum. Releasing the mudras, wiggling your fingers, bringing your hands into your heart, Anjali Mudra. Namaskar. Om. The beginning, the end, the sound of creation, eternal, ever existing, a representation of Ishvara. Let's chant one Om together to complete the practice. Exhaling the breath, inhaling to chant. Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Okay, so now you are where you can unmute yourself if you have any questions or comments, anything you'd like to ask. Today was a very soft practice. I'm sorry, I also went over 2 minutes. I think I just looked at my clock wrong when I laid down. So today's practice was very gentle. It wasn't my immediate attention last night when I went to bed thinking of today's practice. It was going to be a strong practice. But this morning when I woke up and felt a lot of personal anxiety and felt my blood pressure was low and my heartbeat was high, it was like, no, this is my day to soften and try to get in touch at a softer level for today, for this Sunday. And I hope that resonated with some of you. I hope that you found the class was what you needed. Let me close this so I can go to gallery view and see more of you. Yes, okay. Any questions or comments or anything you'd like to talk about? It's so nice to see. Hi, Veronica. You're so welcome. Everyone is very, very welcome. I'm going to grab my pillow because the floor is really hard under my ankles. Yeah, I decided today I wasn't going to get off the floor. Some of you who have low blood pressure, you know what that feels like when you wake up with your blood pressure low. Like every time you move quick, you get a little dizzy. And so it's like, no, I'm not going to get off the mat today. I'm going to stay right there. Why do some people use distilled water for neti pot? Well, I hope they're putting their doesn't really matter as long as it's clean water. Maybe people don't want the minerals. I don't know. I would use plain regular water with salt, and that's it. Just salt and water. Half a teaspoon to a cup of salt. I mean, a cup of water with a half a teaspoon of salt. And the water shouldn't be hot. It should be body temperature. It should just be like if you pour it over your wrist, it feels just great. It doesn't feel too cold, too hot. It feels perfect. We have them at the store, Martha, but the store's closed. So for now, you can private message me and I'll see if somebody goes to the store over the next few days if they can get one. And you can get it from my gardener at the door or something. My gardener is really like my pops. He lives here. I asked him if he wanted to go home and he was, no way, I'm not going home. I'm staying here with you. It's like, okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's it. Oh, good. A year and a half old did the breath practices today. That's fabulous news, don't you? Don't you all agree? Yeah, I felt so much that I wanted to really help everybody lower this level of anxiety that we all come up with. And so some days a very gentle practice like this, I think, is really beneficial to all of us, you know. Some days we need to be strong and really remind ourselves that we can do it. And then other days we need to go, let go of the controls and just relax into the universe. Just be into the universe. And that's how I was feeling this morning. Wanted to surrender to whatever practice came out of me. So how about that yogic breath? Any questions for those of you who haven't studied with me? Because for some people it can be a little bit confusing how it starts in the belly. And then again, I've explained this early on, but I want to explain it again. I didn't explain it today. So here's the diaphragm, and it's sitting like this on top of your heart. And believe me, here's your heart sitting on top of the diaphragm, and they're actually connected. Your heart and your diaphragm are connected, physically connected. Okay, so they are connected with tissue, and then around it, like an umbrella, is your diaphragm. So, you know, when you open an umbrella, it goes like that, right? You open an umbrella. And that's a chest breath when you open the umbrella, okay? But if you move your belly by relaxing those abdominal muscles out of the way, everything just kind of drops down a little bit. And so you create more space in this open thoracic cavity for more breath potential. So that's the important part of just relaxing the belly to start. And then as you move, so here we are, we just kind of relax the belly and that just drops everything down a little bit into that space. And then we start to really fill the lungs and it all contracts out, okay? So we really want to look at diaphragmatic breathing. For those of you who want to do a YouTube thing, I have two channels now. I didn't know I did. I have G Hooven, which is my old channel, where you can find the anatomy of the breath and some really old videos. You can find Babaji doing the hand mudras. You can find all kinds of stuff in that channel. I didn't really think it was ever going to go public, so no telling what you'll find there, but probably nothing embarrassing. And then the new channel is Ginger Hooven. You know, space between that. G Hooven is together, but Ginger space Hooven. And that's the new channel with all of these classes since this past week. They're under my little place here in Antigua called Casa San Juan. So you'll go to the Casa San Juan. It'll take you into Casa San Juan, or at least it'll give you that direction. But in the old one are lots of really good videos about the anatomy of the breath, where you can actually see someone recently passed, recently gone out of their body. They dedicated their body to science. And you see the lungs and cells being innervated with a straw or with a pump, and how expandable they are. And also how they are not like a balloon. They're like a sea sponge with space around them. All of those bronchi, bronchioles, all that little tiny stuff with moving down to the very lowest part of oxygen and CO2 exchange and at the alveoli, it really explains how the only thing that limits our capacity to breathe, besides the size of our lungs, which we all have maybe a little bit different size, is also the size of our thoracic cavity. So with asana, when we do these openings and we do twisting, we do all these things to help us get more space. We get more intercostal space in between the ribs. And all of that space allows us to have a bigger, better breath every time we intentionally breathe. Any questions? Oh, good. Yes, the video, okay, yeah, the videos are posted. So they're all there, I think even through yesterday. And this wonderful guy, when I told him I was giving online classes, he's my tech guy and he's not cheap. And when I told him I was giving free online classes, he offered to upload them daily for free, which is super generous because it was like more than I could handle, was thinking about uploading all of this stuff. So, well, if there are no questions, you don't have to hang out with me. It's lovely to see you. I'm really glad that you're here. I'm glad we're all in this together. I feel you literally in that akash, in that space and ether level. And I'm really glad that we can spend this time together every morning. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Priska. Bye, Priska. Hi, Tanya. Bye, everyone. Jess, Vero, Marta, Nayana, everyone. Samyukta, Silvia, Antonia. I just saw. Thank you to Pratima. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you all. Thanks for joining in today, and I hope to see you tomorrow.